Hello, greetings and salutations. Welcome back to another episode of NexusCraft, here with me, Blue Nexus Gaming, on my Minecraft survival single-player world. As you can see, we are on 1.17. You might have noticed we were on 1.17.0 specifically. As you can very easily tell, we're over here at the mob farm, collecting up a series of mobs to burn to death on magma, basically. They are dying in this little kill chamber here, and then their loot is being deposited in that storage chest. Now, if they were zombies, they would probably be dropping a lot more loot. However, seeing as they are not zombies, they seem to be limited in the type of loot that they can drop, namely because of things such as a bit of a limitation in the fact that they cannot seem to drop certain items unless killed by a player. And seeing as magma blocks do not consider technically being killed as a player, seeing as they are not considered as being killed by a player, my ability to actually, collect certain items from the enemy is limited. However, I am getting plenty of bone, I'm getting plenty of arrow, I'm getting plenty of string, which is a great thing, because now I can start spawn-proofing my base. About to deposit that stone. And when I say spawn-proofing my base, I mean literally just going through with a piece of string and just spawn-proofing the entire area of my base. Okay. Now, unfortunately, it would seem that I can't seem to quite make them spawn at this range. However, if I go just a little bit further out, specifically if I go traveling up here, and over to here, I can stand here, and this will get plenty of monsters to spawn for me. Now, that being said, this would be a very dull video if I just stood here all day, because, waiting for spiders to spawn is not exactly entertaining. can see, there's plenty of spiders spawning in. There should additionally be plenty of skeletons spawning in as well. You should be able to see those spawn in any minute now. There they go. Let's watch through this window. It's a little bit easier. So we've got our skeleton spawner over here. We've got our spider spawner down there. Their rates are pretty much optimized, whilst we sit here and just casually enjoy getting all the monster kills that we possibly can. Let's see. I don't think I left any ways for me to actually peer into this contraption. Oh well. I shall excavate it accordingly, at least, so that I do not accidentally dig into it later. This gives the spawners a chance to function, chance to, well, spawn things without causing me a lot of issues. On top of that, I get to make use of the spawners while the video is getting recorded. Okay. Apparently this is where the path had a turn. Therefore, I want to follow the path. Go ahead and follow the turn. This is why it's beneficial to sometimes go out of your way to excavate your builds. You know, a lot of the time you're going to be building these things underground. You're not going to be paying attention to things such as diagonals. Sometimes diagonals become important. Okay. There we go. Looks like we've got ourselves a nice little start to this entire thing. you may be wondering, or may not, but you may be wondering, you might be wondering, I subscribe to this guy. I like the channel, I like the video, and on top of that, I've been watching him build this entire thing for last few episodes. Why is he building a spider spawner / skeleton spawner kill chamber? Why is he excavating this entire thing anyways? What is he up to? Well, in preparation for the villager trading hall, I am going to need to spawn-proof that area in order to specifically make it so that I am capable of accepting villagers without the villagers getting completely murdered the instant that they are there by just wave after wave of slimes. As a result, I have found that it quite definitely helps quite heavily if there is some method of providing a semblance of stability. For example, if there's string all over the ground, monsters can't spawn. The same can be said if there is carpet all over the ground. However, covering everything in carpet would kind of leave me in a position where I don't really have a means of seeing what's on the ground. And that's kind of part of what I want to build, is something that can see the ground. You know, I spent all this time decorating with diorite, which is not an easy task. I want to make sure that the diorite that I decorated with can be viewed. Therefore, I'm going through filling in all of the area with string. That's going to provide me enough of a buffer in order to allow me the potential option of having a worthwhile effect, if you will. You know, I'm not going to sit here needing to worry about whether or not I, am going to return to a bunch of villagers that have been murdered by slimes. Instead, I can rest easy in knowing that they're not going to be murdered by slimes, because I spawn-proofed the entire place, just to make sure that they wouldn't get murdered by slimes. Other benefits to digging out the entire area includes retrieving vast quantities of ore. Speaking of which, that reminds me of some of the times when I would play Final Fantasy XI. We would sometimes need to gather ore in order to perform early level crafting, or synthesis as they called it in that game. I was just reminded of Final Fantasy XI. The crafting system which they use in Final Fantasy XI, because I was just randomly thinking about it. There is plenty that goes on in that game. I do look forward to playing that game again someday. It's just a matter of time until I do. I really miss playing that game, therefore, of course I'm going to play that game again sometime. I just kind of am hoping that I get to play it again before the servers are taken down, because it's a really fun game. I really like it. I find it quite enjoyable. I think Final Fantasy XI is a wonderful series that is capable of providing very good fun for pretty much all ages. It's just a matter of perspective on just how much is considered entertaining. The torches are just a little bit too high. There we go. As you can tell, there is plenty of excavating to get done. However, for the most part, there's just a lot of work to do. You know, I get to spend a lot of time going through this whole area, just kind of making sure everything's nice and well put together, making sure everything's nice and level, nice and even. Letting a bunch of monsters spawn in from the monster spawners. Sending them off to the magma block kill chamber, which is going to collect us some string as well as some bones and arrows, mostly string. Okay. Now that we've got our spawner built up, we've got the kill chamber built up, we've got some lights installed. We can go through making sure that this entire build isn't going to have like bats or anything spawning on it, because they can be annoying and loud. it would seem that I need to go deposit some of my inventory because I am rather full. We have, however, been getting plenty of materials. The hopper minecart is hard at work, doing what it does best. Laps. I mean, it is what it does best. It does laps. We've got stone, we've got a lot of andesite. Go ahead and polish the granite, polish the diorite, polish the full quantity of andesite. Deposit said granite. Deposit said andesite. And then let's actually withdraw this diorite because if we grab that diorite out, we can deposit that. And there we go. Now we have a nice clean inventory. As soon as we deposit the iron, now we can very easily go about collecting all of the remaining resources in the area from up here. For example, this extra diorite, some of this extra andesite as well. Apparently, even just a wee bit of stone. These sections do seem a little bit shadowy. Let me go ahead and let's see. We want torches located approximately there, 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 and there. I mean, I did say approximately. Let me move these over by one. There we go. As we can see, there is plenty of resources just kind of scattered all about around this build, which is kind of what we wanted. Okay. We can see now that there is some coal in the ceiling. Obviously. On top of that, as you can quite obviously tell, we are collecting a large variety of materials. Now, again, this is partially due to, just wanting to make sure that I built everything properly. But on top of that, there is additionally making sure that, not only did I build everything properly so that nothing's going to actually have any chance of escaping from this thing, I wanted to make sure that the build is going to not accidentally get excavated in the process of my expansion. I understand that this is decently close to my base and therefore has some chance of actually getting excavated. Albeit a small chance, but a chance nonetheless. go. Get it nice and bright over there. Now I need to return to base. I probably should store the majority of the contents for this for these dispensers, because otherwise it's just kind of, you know, filling up my inventory. However, there is some benefit to it. So much as there is a bit of a means to sort out, navigate, and just generally upgrade what I am doing here. There we go. Plenty more inventory space. And on top of that, plenty more string. I probably should spawn proof down here first. But I'll start up here. Okay. I mean, I don't know if they can spawn on barrels, but I don't really feel like learning whether or not they can. So this is why I like working with carpet instead. Because with carpet you don't gotta worry about things like this, where you're just kind of swinging blindly at the air. Really? See, this is why I'm placing down all of this string. Specifically so I don't get just absolutely surprise attacked by slimes of all things. Okay, let's see if we have any more spiders that gladly sacrificed their string. Nope, doesn't look like it. Now, I would like to point out that if I were to gather all of this string, it would take 3 times as much string for me to fill all of this in with carpet. Apparently there are certain areas where I do not technically need to have yes. Okay, so that's just a wee bit confusing. Basically, I can't have strings surrounding the enchanting table in between the table itself and the books. Which basically means there's almost no real way to spawn-proof it. Which is kind of unfortunate. I do intend to eventually upgrade all of this to actual carpet and not just string. Or perhaps I'll change the floor out for half slabs and that'll make it a lot easier. I could actually do that. I have been pondering that option for a while now. Did all of these items despawn? They did. That's sad. Oh well. Let us gather more items. The items which despawned weren't of significant value. I mean, yeah, they were a little bit valuable, but it was like cobblestone and stuff. Nothing too significant. It's not going to, it's not going to be difficult to replace it, for starters. Yeah, I've been just kind of casually excavating. As you can tell, there is plenty of materials to be gathered, to be studied. Plenty of resources to go around. Oh my, it appears as though I have found a silverfish burrow. Or perhaps just some random pocket cave. Either way, both are incredulously dangerous areas